Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the general weekend check-in for the collective for the next 3 days. Keep in mind this energy reading could play out this weekend. This reading may or may not be for you, so I do ask that you only take with you the messages that resonate and leave behind the rest. This reading is also not sign specific, but I will call out zodiac signs that I do feel me mentioning. But we're going to talk about these big cosmic energies first. Mars is entering into Gemini on Saturday, August the 20th. So it's going to be in Gemini for about 7 months. So it's going to be in Gemini for an extended period of time. Mars is actually going to go retrograde in Gemini. And so Mars only goes retrograde about every 2 years. So this is definitely going to be a long period of time with Mars and Gemini. And so Mars is going to go into Gemini on Saturday, and then it's going to go retrograde in the sign of Gemini at 25 degrees on October 30th this year. It will then turn direct in January of next year on January the 12th. And then it will leave Gemini around March 25th, and it will go into Cancer. And so just thinking about this energy, I kind of got to get a good laugh, because I do feel it's going to drastically upheave many divine masculines on the spiritual journey. And so I think people are going to get a good swift kick in the ass with Mars in Gemini. It can be very clever, hopped up energy, and it could be like this energy of mouths and minds on fire is what I was shown, this fire energy. And so I think get ready for a lot of verbal attacks, a lot of calculated communication. Get ready to deal with some racing thoughts in the mind space. But it's this code cracking energy is kind of what I'm feeling. And what I kept hearing was, me and my friends, we've cracked the code. I don't even know who sings that song, but it's in a song. And so with Mars in Gemini, what I want to call this energy is mental masturbation, is what my guides wanted to call it, mental masturbation. And so get ready to question everything in your mind like a machine. And especially if you have your Mars in Gemini, I think, have you answered the call yet? Because I think the energy is saying, hey, what's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? And so you're really going to want to pay attention, and you're going to want to check what house Mars is going to retrograde when it comes to your own natal chart. It doesn't matter what your Mars placement is. You're going to want to see where Mars is going to retrograde. Okay, and especially if you do have your Mars in Gemini, it's really going to be hot and fast energy, and it is going to be dependent on your Mars placement, where Mars falls in your housing side of the chart. So if, say, for instance, Mars in Gemini in the first house, this is about pushing your ideas forward, speaking on these ideas. Mars in Gemini in the second house is all about thinking about how you acquire your assets. It is all about self-worth, self-value. Mars in Gemini in the third house is all about communication. A lot of mental juggling going on. You might be finding yourself wanting to drive too fast. With Mars and Gemini in the fourth house, get ready for some big family fights, some anger to boil to the surface, and it's like this fire in the belly that needs to kind of be released. Mars and Gemini in the fifth house, you know, it's all about creativity, this drive to have fun, creative ideas coming in fast and coming in hot and heavy. With Mars in Gemini in the sixth house, you're going to get hopped up with all kinds of worries. I think it's going to be like this purging, cleaning spree. And it can be either super productive, or it could be like this super gossip spreader energy. With Mars in the seventh house, get ready for fights with your partner, with your one-on-one partner. Get ready to verbally spar and to face challenges, and get ready to deal with open enemies is what I feel. Mars in Gemini in the eighth house is all about obsessing about sex and incessant exploration into the dark taboo aspects of who you are. With Mars in the ninth house, it is all about higher study, higher mind study, and this drive to learn more, to know more, But you're going to want to watch out for being a know-it-all in that category, okay? And then with Mars in the 10th house, this is all about our midhaven, our status, our social status in the world, and this is going to be a big influence when it comes to your intellect prowess energy, okay? Mars in the 11th house, that's all about our community structures, so trading, gossip, definitely gossip among friends, get ready for that. And this is where you can step into a possible position of influence when it comes to group settings. With Mars in the 12th house, get ready to face some possible undoing, self-undoing. You might find yourself driven to escapism tendencies. I think it's going to be most difficult in this house for energy. If you have your Mars in the 12th house, it's going to be very overwhelming when it comes to all of this new information taking physical form, and you're going to want to retreat. So Mars is in Gemini is a mutable sign, and so the energies are going to be definitely amplified over the coming months. So expect to get super irritated, and it's either going to be for the good or for the bad. And so it's a lot of like intellectual stimulation. My Venus is in Gemini, so I know all about the mental stimulation, and so either it's going to be welcome or it's going to piss you right off. So it could go one of two ways. So you're going to want to be aware, consciously aware of your actions. And so I feel with Mars in retrograde, it's this energy of get ready to face where you've left the pot on the stove for too long. Bad things are going to start to happen when you avoid addressing the great big elephant in the room. And so you're going to want to be on the ball with Mars in retrograde, okay? So I think the energy is going to be prone to a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. And I hope that this message isn't going to add to that stress. But with Mars in Gemini, it needs a healthy outlet. It needs a healthy outlet. And so Mars is generally very challenging. You think of Mars, it is the planet of war. It's the planet of battles, bloodshed, after all. And so it's urging us to act and to initiate and to assert ourselves, right? Aggression. And so any situations that are needing to be addressed are likely going to come up. Mars in Gemini likes to constantly be on the move. It's always searching for the next best shiny thing, always searching for stimulation. And I feel this is where we kind of have to look at our own actions and where we've been dispersing all of our energy, okay? And so the next 7 months, I think, is bound to be a learning journey, a learning curve for many, especially of the Divine Masculine Collective, because Gemini is very busy, right? It's variety seeking. And I know a lot of the Divine Masculines seek that variety, right? They like to have their little magic stick in all kinds of mixie-Q pots, right? And so a lot of these masculines been juggling a lot of these options, right? Juggling's a game. So I feel get ready to face where you've been playing games with people's emotions. I think that's a big one, because that's going to cause you to feel a little bit stressed out, because what goes around always comes back around, and we always got to pay that piper back, right? So I think get ready to remind yourself to watch your words, to slow down, because the shadow side of Mars in Gemini, I think you might be a little bit too clever for your own good. And the energy can prove to be quite cutting and very provocative. And so this retrograde period, we are going to want to be careful with how we speak to each other, right? Because words are cutting. I know how to Queens of Swords a bitch's ass, and let me tell you, my tongue can cut. I'm a Mercury in Aries, and I call it how I see it. And if you don't like it, too bad, because I'm a truth speaker, right? And so there's many positive ways that we can use this cosmic energy. And this is where we pay attention to the small details. We can focus on our work, on our careers. And we have to choose, though, to look at what we need to improve upon and work upon when it comes to ourselves, when it comes to our social presence, perhaps even our social media presence. You might want to, get a web page going if you're an entrepreneur, on an entrepreneurial journey. But it's about like putting our message out there, right? And you're going to feel like you're going to have to work harder when it comes to conscious communications, especially with loved ones, siblings, family, colleagues, work situations, all of that fun stuff. So during Mars's transit through Gemini, it will be grounding with some Saturn energy, and it's going to have some mystified energies mixed in with Neptune. And we're going to have these aspects playing out 3 times while Mars is in Gemini. And I always hear that 3 birds, 1 stone, 3 birds, 1 stone. And so everything kind of happens in threes. So by the end of this Mars Gemini transit, you better be ready to get back to square one, to practice discipline, self-discipline, and get ready to see where you've been missing some important details. I think many are going to start to feel exhausted, and you might even experience this deep sense and lack of motivation, because we're going to have all of these outer planets, all of these ancestral generational planets in retrograde. So these are going to be times of rest, reflection, and not pushing against the grain too hard. And then on Sunday this weekend, guys, we have Mercury opposing Neptune. So this is going to add to some uncertainty, some confusion, some fogginess, daydreaming energy, not really knowing other people's motivations in and around you. And it can bring forward a lot of mental confusion. It can also bring forward a lot of relationship issues due to some miscommunication. And so your perception of your reality is going to be fogged in. It's going to be a little bit clouded. And you might have a hard time filtering out any background noise or useless information in the energies. And so it's this energy of you're hearing and you're seeing the truth, but it's mixed in with all of this collective garbage and junk that we're kind of sifting through in the collective conscious 4th dimension, right? And so a lot of personal relationships are going to be met with a lot of confusion, but we can't keep avoiding these deep and meaningful conversations if we want to break these negative, repetitive relationship cycles, right? And so if you're dating, or if you're putting yourself back out in the dating scene, I think be forewarned. The energy is susceptible to being taken advantage of or being deceived in some way. So you're really going to want to take those rose-colored glasses off if you're out in the dating scene. But some really good things to do under these influences this weekend would be some mystical creative writing. I'm all about the writing, the journaling, poetry, anything imaginative, anything creative is really going to help you work through this clouded energy this weekend, whether it's dancing, singing, going out in nature, getting grounded, watching a movie, a romance movie maybe, and don't take any dreams or visions that come through too seriously this weekend. What I was told was take a break. So those whose work relies on their psychic abilities or their intuitive gifts, I think take a break. Take a break this weekend, and that's what I'm doing. I'm packing up and I'm shipping out, and I'm going on the water for the weekend. So let's jump in with some cards, guys, and see what else needs to come through in the energies for this weekend check-in. We are going to use the Star Code Astro Oracle deck, and there's that balance, Libra, and there's the Chiron aspect, heal. So get into the core of the issue, the Chiron wound. And so right now many are going through these massive self-identity crises, right? Major crisis energy, and finding the energy to rebalance all of this upheaved energy. I think there's been a lot of upheaval recently in order to get to the root cause of that core wound, the wounded healer, right? And so in the mysteries of death, transformation, and rebirth, 8th house, scorpionic energy. It is about death, taboo, and like I said, Mars in the 8th house, obsessing about sex. So that might be coming up to be addressed. So let's get a 9-card spread, guys, and see what needs to come through for the collective. We got the Venus energy, the beloved, Ace of Cups. Okay, so right now Venus is in Leo, so Venus is on fire. We got Taurus energy, cultivate, and that's where this anxiety is coming from. Mars right now is in Taurus at like 29 degrees. And whenever we reach the closing of an astrology sign, things get a little sticky, heavy, muddled, right? And so cultivating these new foundations. And so somebody is being absolutely debilitated and in a very uncomfortable, discomforting energy when it comes to a beloved connection that I feel is in deep need of healing. And so North Node activations, 4th house, it is all about relationships, the home, deep roots, 12th house, burying the past, so we can step into these new collaborations and we can arrive into our most authentic self and to, you know, put forward those communal efforts moving forward. So get ready for a lot of clarity. But in order to regain that clarity, you are going to have to be immersed in the heart energy, the Cancer energy, mother wound energy coming up to be addressed. Communication is necessary, right? So get ready for some heated arguments. Get ready for maybe finally everything to be laid down on the table for that heart-to-heart conversation. So dead central energy is the North Node. So all of these energies, I feel this is not just a weekend check-in. This is the start of closing out these cycles this weekend and getting future-oriented, stepping into the karmic pathway. Kenzie, sorry about Bailey, guys. She's a barker. So closing out these karmic cycles, right? 21 the world, the Sisterhood of the Rose, Mary Magdalene energy coming through and grounding these fated unions. And so get ready to go into some very uncomfortable energies when it comes to breaking down the false foundations and healing that core wound, right? The North Node, future oriented. And so activating the North Node pathway when it comes to these new home foundations, these new solid structures, healing foundations, and burying the past. So get ready for some undoing in order for all of these emotions to surface, and then we get the arrival. So a lot of ascension energies. The ascendant is where we arrive to all of these past life memories. It is also where we bury the past. So you're going to want to have a look at those energies in your chart. Let's dig into this Chiron aspect. I'm not sure what deck I want to use today, guys. So I think we're just going to go with the Tarot of Dreams. We're going to use the Tarot of Dreams, the Moon and Strength. So really, a lot of this is residual energies stemming around that new moon in Leo. We're going to have the new moon in Virgo coming up at the end of the month, and that's all about a service-based energy. Virgo is the sign of service, our service mission. It's stemming around our health, our wealth, and so we've been in the throes of this shadow energy, right? The moon deals with fear, illusions, breaking these illusions, breaking down the ego. Strength can be ego, right? Pride, ego, breaking down the ego. And so a lot of hidden aspects coming up in the Chiron energy. I just noticed a card in here that doesn't belong. So let's see what extra little message the guides have for us. Breakthrough. There's going to be a breakthrough at hand today. So major transformation energy, and your hard work is going to pay off. So let's take a look at this healing energy coming through the Chiron aspect. Look at that, Empress. Well, if that ain't a beloved divine feminine energy, I don't know what is. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Coins. All about laying those solid foundations, an opportunity to plant those seeds for a new beginning, I feel. So somebody, I feel, wants to heal a situation with a divine feminine, the Empress, right? Taurus, Libra. And we are focused on that Taurus energy for sure with the Taurus North Node, right? So balancing out the karmic scales, I feel a divine feminine here that is about to come into reaping some abundant rewards for all of the hard work she's done. It's like getting ready to birth that cosmic baby. That new found unconditional love. The Empress truly is unconditional love. She gives without any expectations, very heart-centered. She wants for nothing. The Empress, everybody's drawn to the Empress. Everybody wants to help the Empress, right? She's glowing. She's on fire. She knows her worth. She knows her value. And she sure as hell ain't going to go chasing down a man. She attracts what she needs in her life, right? And the Empress is not short of any love offers, that's for sure. And so I feel somebody is contemplating coming in with an offer. I feel an offer of wanting to lay a foundation with this Empress energy, and they've been stuck in this prison cell of worry, sitting in a lot of truth about a core wound that is stemming around this divine feminine, and there's been this energy of going within, right? So boy, somebody's really thinking about bringing an offer into this Empress. So we are going to look at the beloved, since the divine feminine came through, and we got the 5 of Wands, the 8 of Coins, and we got that Kundalini life force activation. So yeah, there's going to be some very conflicting energies coming up when it comes to coming forward with an offer. Somebody's fighting between their head and their heart, which is likely manifesting in all kinds of outer challenges in somebody's life, in a dynamic. It's about structure, loyalty. Somebody's been really fighting with their ego when it comes to stepping forward and doing the work, but I feel like a Kundalini activation. And somebody, I feel, is obsessed with bringing forward an offer and wanting to build a legacy with this Empress energy. So let's see what this uncomfortable, debilitating feeling is. We got a King of Wands, a visionary leader. It's about taking those steps forward with communication. So somebody's really stressed, riddled with anxiety about sending some communication, about cultivating a new foundation here. 3 of Wands is the wait is over. The time for now is action, and that's what that King of Wands does. He's a visionary leader. He's passionate. He's motivated. He's driven to succeed, driven to take action, and there's going to be a lot of passionate communication. And perhaps an unexpected choice in love with the Lovers, Gemini energy. So let's see what this future orientation is when it comes to this home life. We get Leo. So I feel a foundation. Oh, we get the Queen of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 7 of Swords. So yeah, there's a third party energy here. We got a Temptress, a liar. There might have been a cheating scenario in the past, and somebody's been playing into their pride and their ego. I feel somebody's dealing with a very possessive, jealous, controlling, feminine energy, all about the pride and the ego. I feel somebody is really attention seeking and maybe tantruming like a little child. We know what it's like when we want that attention. Any attention will do, right? But I feel somebody's getting left out in the cold, and there's going to be some exposure of some manipulation going on here. And what's been holding somebody back from a missed opportunity to go towards healing. So Aries, Leo, Sag, Taurus energy, Cancer energy. There's somebody getting left out in the cold. And I feel somebody is going deep within introspection and shifting their perspective when it comes to wish fulfillment. So we get the 9 of Cups, clarifying the 12th house. What are we burying? We're burying all of these addictions, all of these secrets. We're going into the darkness and getting that new perspective shift. Pisces energy, strong Pisces energy, and we are expanding, right? And we are alchemizing divine union is what I'm feeling. A lot is being alchemized. So where are we arriving at this weekend? Where are we arriving at? We're arriving at the crossroads, and we're sitting in a whole lot of truth when it comes to an unjust situation that is going to be righted. Beautiful. 2 of Wands, the Palace of Swords, so and that House of Undoing, and that's where we sit in all of that divine truth, the cosmic disclosure, and righting a past wrong when it comes to a divine union. And somebody is definitely facing some very harsh karmic judgment this weekend. There's going to be the undoing of a false contract, and somebody's going to get a major wake-up call, and they're about to hit rock bottom because they've not been willing to learn this karmic lesson. Something needs to come full circle. Definitely an injustice. Libra energy. There's that brute force, that Mars energy, that tower, and a lot of bad karma is playing out, and somebody is going to have to give it to God and take it to Jesus and have that coming to Jesus moment in order for a rebalancing. So I think get ready for a lot of death energy, scorpionic energy to transform a negative situation. And I think there's going to be some exposure of some betrayal. I think you're ready for that final nail in the coffin to be exposed in order for a new beginning. So Wow, let's get a couple last messages with the Crystal Stone deck. Yeah, somebody's really needing to deepen their intuition. I'm hearing, how the hell did I not see that coming? But I feel a feminine here that is got a lot of offers coming in. So you're going to want to use your discernment. You're going to want to choose carefully. But there's definitely going to be a breakdown, and somebody is immersed in a whole lot of cosmic truth when it comes to healing a core wound with a counterpart union is what I'm feeling. So let's get 3 last cards to close off the reading, guys, and we're going to call it a weekend check-in from there. Banish your blahs, slow your roll, and beam yourself way up. And you know, in order to reach the highest of the highs, we kind of got to reach the lowest of the lows. And so I feel this desert energy is creating all kinds of brooding below the surface. Very well could be dealing with a heavy Cancer energy here. Somebody really needs to set some goals for their life. I think get a list made, call upon your fiery, passionate energy, call upon your ancestral energy, your ancient energy to help you break through these blockages, because somebody needs to get up and go. Somebody needs to right a past wrong when it comes to ghosting. This Empress is what I'm feeling. And there is this hot-tempered, super agitated energy, this seething, sweltering energy, which is coming through. And so I feel like somebody here is feeling like all the world's problems are suddenly their burden to hold, and there's going to be anger coming up. Anger, in order for somebody to articulate and formate proper sentences when it comes to righting a past wrong. And so I do feel a lot of teleportation, transcendent states in the energies. There's a very enchanted Empress here. And I feel somebody needs to clear away any skepticism or any cynicism about the spiritual path and to break free from the over-analytical, logical mind. And so, yeah, I feel somebody is praying. It's not too late. They're definitely feeling like a moving target, being pushed into their true purpose and needing to right a past dishonoring moment where they did not honor what was on their heart. And so I do feel all of this struggling energy is going to be a little bit heavy until Mercury goes retrograde. And then boom, all of this is going to have to be forced to be looked at. So throat activations, finding the courage to speak that truth, and really facing that inner child energy, the core wound, right? The inner child core wound. And I do feel like this death sentence energy when it comes to making things happen. So we're going to have to break through these blocks. That's what the Tower comes in to do. Get you unstuck from these old patterns, any unhealthy people, and to show you where you've been lacking that self-discipline to redefine your life. So it's time to live in truth. It's time to live in the present moment, to stop over analyzing the past and worrying about the future. And it's time to release that mental commentary that says you're not good enough. And so you might be experiencing a lot of blissed out moments and then hitting the lowest of the lows. It's like raise you up, knock you down, raise you up, knock you down, in order for all of these barriers to be removed around the heart that's been standing between you and manifesting your happy place, your serene connection, this heaven on earth energy. And so somebody's been blatantly ignoring the consistent inner voice that it's time to take action to address this whole negative situation. And I feel this Empress is getting adorned with all kinds of offers, and somebody's really listening now, really listening. So listen to your guides. You might be surprised what messages come through, because we are rewriting history. Somebody I feel has been burning the candle at both ends, and they're about to get burned with a very highly charged energy of awakening is kind of what I'm feeling. And so somebody's going to have to swallow their pride and to quite possibly apologize for all of these tired gray thought patterns, these tired gray obsession patterns, and they're going to have to re-energize to go with the heart. So quit ignoring that nudge. There's this push-pull energy going on, and Somebody's being pushed into the heart's favor. The heart wants what it wants, so quit denying what the heart wants, and get ready to rebalance something very imbalanced. And that is kind of what I got for a check-in, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin soul reading with me, check out that description box below, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.